What's going on, guys? This is Accent 2K2 coming back at you with another video. Now, first of all, first things first, I want to say Happy New Year. All of you out there, I hope that you had a wonderful 2019. In my opinion, crypto, we had a pretty good 2019. I would say we started off, around the 3K-ish zone. Because we ended 2018 at a low of around 3K-ish, which seems like it was the bottom. So, and then we had in 2019 where we went from 3K to 14K, and we kind of topped out then around 14K. Depends on which exchange you were on. So we topped out then, and from there, we kind of slowly sold off until we got down to ending the year roughly around 7,100, 7,000 range, which puts us to where we are right now. So hopefully we have a much better 2020. I know we still got some things going on as far as minor capitulation. Well, at least these are all the theories. We still have minor capitulation going on. We have the plus token sell off, which I don't know how they're allowed to be able to sell off their tokens. We also have seems like we had tax loss selling at the end of the year, so that should be something that should be a little bit more positive, possibly bullish, is that at least most of the tax loss selling is done. Now, let's take a look at some charts and see what's going on here. All right, so please excuse my MacBook because it seems to be screaming at me. I guess I don't have enough power to run these trading view charts and have an exchange up. It's just like kind of going crazy. It seems like the crazier the exchange goes, the crazier my laptop goes. So we will actually start off on the daily time frame, taking a look and seeing what's going on here. Now, right here, I'm using the MFI, which is a nice tool that I like to use here. That's basically the money flow. If you look at it, typically, whenever it's kind of bottomed out here, things seem to take off. And then usually, I like to wait until it's oversold here, but it seems like it can also, just like the RSI or anything else, it can also still sell off whenever it has its own time. So one thing about indicators is that I typically like to look at more than one in order to kind of get my thesis. Like give you an example right here. Excuse me. So this is the MFI. This right here is the Williams percentage arm, and this is the MACD. This is volume with the OBV, with the EMA right there, right? So I like to look at volume, like to see what's going on. If we look at it, just looking at this right here, we can see on the daily chart, volume was tapering off. You know, as we ran into the end of the year, volume just continuously ramped off, right? If we look at the MACD shows that it was ramping down, right? We look at the Williams percentage arm, we clearly had the warnings here on the daily. We got a nice fat M right here, right? We got where everything crossed over right there, and boom. So on the daily, things still kind of look ugly in my opinion. Right now, we are currently in the middle of like a little pullback rally. But when I'm looking at this on the daily, I just see one big, fat, juicy M right there, right? I've kind of blocked this off because it seems like we've been trading in a range here, right? So as you can see, back here, when we had kind of like a little little sell off. I mean, technically, I guess you could say we've been in this range since back here. This is on November 24th. So we had 1M right here, right? November 24th. Let me make this easy for you guys. I know some people don't like the cloud. So let me go ahead and take the cloud away so you can see what I'm talking about here. All right. This is really easy, okay? You take a look at this all the way back to November 25th. You can see this is 1M right here, right? 1M that as soon as price broke this down, got out of this right here, you see this one side of the M? As soon as price went out of here, price just dumped. And we sold all the way off. We went past, these are the fibs that I previously had right here, right? So we went past the 50%, we went past the 618, right past the 786, and established a new local low, right? So looking at that, since then we had another little rally up, right? Peaked out over here. But notice, you know, like the last highs, it's just ramping down, right? We have a little pullback rally right here, and then boom, sold off again. Ramp up again, still lower. Boom, sold off again. And I just see 1M, and I see another M right here, which as soon as this breaks, we're going back down. As far as for looking at the chart, that's what it looks like. So we can easily switch this to a line chart and you can see the M's better. See that? Boom. All right. I feel like I'm saying boom way too much in this video here. Anyways, so this is the current fibs that I drew. I like to usually take the most recent low, like the most recent lowest low, and the most recent highest high. And as you can see here, it looks like, honestly, even between the last M and this M, we've kind of been stuck in this same range right here, right? Where it looks like this is where we have the most confluence at, right? So it kind of makes sense for this little rally we have here. It didn't quite touch the 50%. At 7,055 and 75 cents, but it's in that ballpark, right? So kind of makes sense why we're rallying right off of here, right? Because that's kind of seems like the sweet spot. You know, we're kind of bouncing off of there and we kind of hitting this 236 fib, right? So this makes sense. This makes sense. If we look at on the daily, we look at all the other indicators, they still look like they're pointing down, right? So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. All right, the 4-hour chart makes this range easier to see, right? Again, you can still see those two M's, right? Hopefully you can. All right. So this is our range. We're stuck in this range. And you can kind of see a couple of times here. Excuse my MacBook. One of these days I'm gonna buy a new MacBook, right? By the way, the reason why I haven't made videos in a while is I actually still work a day job. You know, one of these days I'll get to just do crypto 24/7. And that'd be my career, because I do believe in blockchain. I do believe in cryptocurrencies. And, you know, I've kind of known about Bitcoin since the very beginning. I remember I seen it in a chat room and I was like, hey, what are you guys talking about? And they were like, we're talking about Bitcoin. And this is like 2009. And Bitcoin was pennies. And just like a lot of people still to this day doubt crypto and Bitcoin, I doubted it. I didn't think it would catch on. So I didn't invest in it. At that time, I was investing in stocks, options, things like that. and I didn't see the value of cryptocurrencies at that time. So I just dismissed it, thought to myself, oh, this will never catch on. And I just kept an eye on it over the years, and I would see it go to these different prices. And I was like, oh, I just missed the boat. And I could say, what, 2013, I was thinking about it. Yeah, still wasn't sold. 2015, I had to buy some Bitcoin because I went on this website. I was wanting to place a bet on the Super Bowl, right? And they only accepted Bitcoin, right? So went on the website, they only accepted Bitcoin, and I was like, okay, hey, I remember Bitcoin. So placed the wager, had to get Bitcoin, didn't win. Ended up staying on the site. They had other things you could do on there. Ended up at that time, I think it's 2015-ish, I want to say Bitcoin was around $500, $600. Hey, that was still cheap compared to these prices we have today. And I still didn't really see the value because I honestly won a whole Bitcoin at that time and didn't see the value, and pretty much lost that whole Bitcoin like in no time. So anyways, didn't see the value of it. 2015-ish, can't remember if it was 2015, 2016-ish, whichever time when the whole Ethereum and the DAO happened and the ETC split and they had the replay attacks and everything, or whatever. So I went through that. I went through just like when I'm actually just trying it and give it a chance, right? Went through the whole hack with Bitfinex, lost funds, got the IOU, didn't believe in the IOU, dumped the IOU too early, should have held it. And kind of got a bad taste for crypto at that time. I want to say that was like 2015-ish. And I took a 2-year break. 2-year break. Didn't believe in it. Took a 2-year break. 2 years later, I'm interested in it again, taking a look at it, and I just kind of got hooked as far as looking at charts and following all the news and everything like that. Kind of got hooked, right? I've done a lot of paper trading and things like that, and yeah, I got hooked. I tried out the whole, anyways, I'm not going to say too much information on here, but let's get back to these charts right here. So if you look at this, you can see how someone has said, oh, that's an inverted head and shoulders. And then boom. Then again here, let's see. It's not so much of an inverted head and shoulders, but you can kind of see the pattern. One right here, you would think that's a big, huge and inverted head and shoulders. One right here, you would think that's a huge, possibly inverted head and shoulders. Or maybe I'm just seeing too much, or my mind's just playing tricks on me or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, it seems like we've just been stuck in this range. It's really hasn't been doing too much. We're kind of parked right here, right? So I know we got a lot of anticipation coming up to the halving event in May. And so it seems like we're just kind of parked sideways right now. I mean, whether you realize it or not, or acknowledge it or not, that's what's going on. As far as on a 4-hour chart. On the daily, like we're seeing, we can see that prices really decline. I mean, prices decline all the way back in June. We topped out. We topped out when we almost hit 14,000. We were right at that mark, right? We topped out, and we've just been selling off since then, and kind of recently just been going sideways November to the end of the year, right? And so the question is, where are we now? What's this going to look like going forward? No one really knows. But if I had to guess, I would say we're probably going to see some more sideways action this month, unless we just have like a just big rip to the bottom, right, and race to the bottom and just take off from there. But I would, if I was to guess, I would say we're going to have some more sideways action this month. We do have targets that need to be hit as far as like, let's see here, both of these times right here, right, on these recent sell-offs, they went beyond the 786, beyond the 886, you know, beyond the 50%, all of that, right? So, and this one was lower than the last one. So, and this high is lower than the last one. So if we were to continue this pattern, one would guess that we're going to get a low lower than the last one, right? So we're going to possibly get another low lower than the last one, and then make another high lower than the last one. It's possible, right? So I don't know. I mean, just looking at it, just the eyeball, right? Like I'm not too far off here, but I'm just eyeballing it. I'd say that could take us around if it finished the exact same way, it could take us around maybe last time, just doing a low about the last time, that would be around 6,300. But let's look at how much of a gap it was from the high. So if this is just eyeballing, I'm not using any special tools or anything like that. But if I looked at the high, I mean, that could take us down to 6,200, you know, if it had the same type of ratio, right? But anyways, that's just eyeballing, and again, that's guessing. No one knows, right? Let's take a look at Ethereum, because Bitcoin, we can clearly see we're trading in a range. We're trading in a range. We've got lower lows, lower highs. The trend seems to be down. Now, are we closer to the end of this trend? I'd say we're a lot closer to the end of this trend than we are at the beginning of the trend. I mean, this trend has been going on for a while here, right? But anyways, I don't want this to drag on, so let me go ahead and go to Ethereum. So let's see what happens here. Sorry if I'm blinding you guys. Ooh, I'm not connected to the internet. Then what am I connected to? Anyways, I'm trying out a different mic. This is a mic that I've had for years, like actually over a decade. So I'm trying out a different mic, and I got a tip from Moon and Papa. Shout out to Moon and Papa with 3 commas. Got a tip from Moon and Papa. I listened to his videos, all his tips that he has for 3 commas, right? And he has really good quality on his mic. His mic has good quality. His videos are always good quality and informative. So I reached out to him. He explained to me that he's just using a normal condenser mic. So I was like, cool. You know, I happen to have one of those, and I was actually thinking about using, you know, my old condenser mic. So it kind of worked out. So I'm trying it out here. So let me know if I'm too loud or if I'm too low. And let me know if you like the microphone. I mean, I know I got a lot of good feedback before where people were saying they liked how the quality of my my videos are as far as audio. You know, I'm someone who used to DJ, used to work on music, so I do kind of pride myself in trying to make sure that I have audio quality, right? Anyways, let's get on to this chart here. So this is the daily. This is on Ethereum. This is in this is on Bybit. These are kind of zoomed out because it's the daily, and normally I'm in the 4 hour. I like to look at the daily just to see the trend, And I like the trade usually out the 4 hour. If I'm really trying to do something short time, then I would look at the 1 hour. Really getting crazy, 15 minute, right? All the way down. 15 minute. You can look at the 30 minute. But in my opinion, the lower you go, you just see a lot of noise, right? The charts are cleaner when you're at 4 hours, daily, weekly, monthly. I know that may sound like real old fashioned to you guys, but honestly, you see everything just makes more sense. It's clearer. Um, Same type of thing here as we see the MACD volume. Hang on. We'll zoom in on that. And that's just like ridiculous, right? Excuse me. Let me get that under control. That looks crazy. Volume still ramping down, right? I mean, we could say it had a lot to do with tax loss selling the end of the year, right? But volume is still ramping down on Ethereum as well. I will say Ethereum did hold up better than I thought it would towards the end of the year there. A lot of times it likes to sell off. I thought we were going to get that big sell off back to under $100, but it looks like we kind of held up. All right, so MACD, so I'm out of that, and then I'm gonna have to go magnify this back when we get to the 4 hour probably. But anyways, you can see, I mean, everything kind of looks down. We're starting to trend up here. MACD, let's pull up the chart here. All right, so we look at this chart. This is still the daily. You can see the trend has just been down. You know, and I mean, common sense tells us the same thing. The top Bitcoin leads them all, right? And the top came in June, you know? So we go all the way back to June. If I get this chart where you can see everything, you can clearly see. Oh, I'm sorry. Have I been saying the wrong date this time? Let's see. All right, yeah, here we are, June 26th. The top was in June 26th, across the board. Had a nice little run up. Top was in, and we've been going nothing but down. No matter how much we feel like, oh, we're going back up, no, we topped out here in June, and we've been headed down. Doesn't mean we can't go up from here. Doesn't mean we can't go up at all this year. But that is the general trend is down. All these little pullback rallies, these are opportunities to short, right? The general trend is down. Now, I'm not saying that that's how this year is going to be, but that's so far has been the trend. Until we make a bottom, that has been the trend. The trend has been down. I just I don't know, my mind just went blank just thinking about the trend. So the trend has been down, right? We need to find a bottom. I know what I was thinking. Okay, so trend has been down. Let's go. Trend has been down. We're stuck in a range. Let me go with the 4 hour chart. Show you. Disregard this right here. This is, at one point I was looking at the target and thinking that that could be hit on Ethereum, which was around 112. But anyways, disregard that. Look, same exact thing. Stuck in a range. Stuck in a range. This range is literally a playground, right? For range traders. I mean, you can, as you can see, we have the most confluence around this 50% line, which is why we got to bounce right now, folks. But if this doesn't hold, we're heading back down into 618, 786. As you can see, Ethereum has touched the 618 and bounced off a couple of times. Touched the 786 and bounced off, right? Wicked all the way down here. So I would say a nice, safe looking range if I was to do anything with this. Again, this isn't financial advice. This is just my opinion, and this is for entertainment purposes. But I would say a nice safe range looks like $124.37 all the way up to about $132.75, right? That's just give or take, ballpark figure. That's a nice safe range that could be traded. That could be very profitable. Now, if you look at this indicator right here, we look like we're towards the end of that move, right? Hence the bounce out to 50%. Bounce out to 50%. If I had to guess, we're testing this 38.2. We're going to go back to the 236 Fibonacci retracement and probably going to fail right there and come back down some more. But we'll probably test the 618 that time. Because if you think about this, look, here we go. We got a high. We got a low. We got a high. We got a lower low. We got a high. This time around, we didn't get a lower low that time. But I don't necessarily think this move is done either. So, did we even get a... Yeah, no, it's still lower. Still a lower high. Anyways, trend is down. And this is the 4-hour chart. But again, like I said, if we look at this money flow indicator, MFI, it's looking like we're towards the end of that move. All right. Another point I had. I'm gonna go back to Bitcoin here. I'm gonna change this to the BLX so we have some more time here. So BLX on the daily. Now here's something that's interesting, right? Actually, we should probably just change this to a weekly and make it really interesting, make it easier to see. All right, so I would argue, and I know I'm not the only one who sees this. A lot of other folks who do TA have seen this, but you see we got the polite little run up here, right? 2017, boom, all-time high. Smackdown found, looks like we rounded out for a little bottom there. Got everybody hype again. Makes sense. Looking at the indicator right here. Ramped it all the way up. Got signals that we should be looking to exit. All-time high around 14,000. Well, it's not an all-time high. Sorry. Local high. The high on this run up around 14,000. Just been a massive sell-off. Nice little cute little W here on the weekly. I just noticed that. So we got a nice little W here on the weekly. And hopefully we take off from here. But that's a nice little W on the weekly. But look, if you look back in this whole bearish trend of 2018, we've had W's before that didn't amount to anything. So got a W right here, right? And we did take off. So naturally, if this W right here is real, then we'll probably take off. But it's like if you throw a ball down, right? If you throw the ball down, it's gonna bounce back up. But it's gonna bounce not as high, and it's gonna fall down again, and it's gonna bounce up a little bit more and fall not as high. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Now, again, that doesn't mean anything. We got the halving event, which is a huge fundamental event. So we may see a little more action this year in 2020, right? We might see a little more action than we did in 2019. Most definitely more than we did in 2018, right? Because that was just straight out the bear market, right? This year, ultimately, if you look at this, right, we didn't even hit the all-time high again. It is still impressive that it went from 3K to 14K. We didn't hit the all-time high again, so I would argue that we're still in a bear market. This is still a bear trend. But 2019 was better than 2018, right? And if I had to guess, 2020 is going to be better than 2019. And if I had to guess, 2021 is going to be, because it's a 4-year cycle, 2021 should be like 2017 was, where we see just crazy euphoria, right? Like everyone is just like, take my money, right? I don't know what is it going to be that's going to get us there. I don't know if it's going to be Ethereum DeFi or any other DeFi project. I don't know if it's going to be that we're going to have more institutional products that help drive more adoption. I don't know if laws are going to change. I don't know if we're going to have stuff going on in the world that's going to drive people to crypto. But 2021 should be very exciting, right? And the folks that are going to benefit the most from 2021, more than anyone else, are the same folks who were investing and buying and dollar cost averaging in 2015 when I didn't even know the true value of a Bitcoin, even though I've seen it when it was pennies, right? It's going to be those folks who were invested in 2015, in 2016. So 2020 is like 2016, right? To 2017. 2015 was like 2019, right? So that's kind of where we stand, Sorry if this video is dragging on. I guess I missed you guys. It's been a while since I've done videos, and I'm kind of trying to get back on track. So I plan on trying to tweak things. I'm not really good with graphic arts and Photoshop and all that kind of stuff, but I plan on trying to get a little theme going here, So hopefully you guys like the quality of the mic. I'll probably start dropping more videos, and maybe they won't all be like 30 minutes long like this one, right? I felt like I had a lot of ground to make up. Did a little bit more TA. It's not always going to be TA. Sometimes it might be like a brief little TA. Maybe we go over a little bit of fundamental, like some, recent news. I am looking for a decentralized platform, because if I'm going to be in this space, and if I'm going to do videos and contribute videos and help out with the community, which are things that I want to do, then why not? Why are we doing this on a centralized platform? Now, kudos to YouTube and however it got resolved, the community getting together. Even though I wasn't making videos, I've still been following the space, right? But that's an eye opener, and it's not just the crypto industry; it's other industries that are affected by the censorship that can happen, worldwide. So I really do think if we're going to be in this space, and if we're going to believe in decentralization and things like that, right? Self-governing systems, then we need to have our own platform. And there are platforms out there. What is it? DLive, and there's different platforms out there. We got Steam. I hear less people talking about Steam these days, but we need something, right? We need something. I know there's library and things like that, library credits that you can have things backed up on, but we do need something. We need a platform, right? Because we can't afford to have an algorithm or a mistake, quotation marks, or whatever it is, take us down. So if you guys know any platforms that you recommend, something that's solid, then let me know. Leave a comment. Let me know, because I'm interested. Because I would like to start working on that now instead of later. because it only takes what someone wakes up on the wrong side of the bed, and the next time everybody's wiped out, and then what if nothing can get done? What if they don't even care what you got to say or what you post on Twitter or whatever, you know? So we need to think ahead. This is a wake-up call. We need to take action. Granted, I don't have as much experience as you guys on YouTube, but I do know that in my opinion, that's a wake-up call. I wouldn't take that lightly. That's like a warning shot. So we should start doing something on the decentralized manner. I don't know if we got to use unstoppable domains and build our own platform and our own site. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. You know, I'm not that guy when it comes to technical, and I don't code, but somebody out there does, and we need to get together. We need to support that. We need to back up a good platform, and we need to start posting our videos there. You can still post them on YouTube. You can still post them wherever else you want, but we should really back, if we say that we believe in cryptography, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, decentralization, then we need to back it up. All right, this is a little long-winded video. Like I said, I don't know can't even remember if I said it earlier, because I actually recorded a video earlier and had some issues, software issues, and had to redo another video. So looks like I'm having an issue now. Hopefully it's still recording. But anyway, so with that being said, I been missing in action because, you know, 9 to 5, been working at 9 to 5, had to take some tests and everything, and I kind of just took off for the rest of the year. So I'm back. I should be making more videos. And with that being said, I wish you guys a happy new year, and I hope the best for you guys, right? So let's all do our thing. Let's make this a greater year than last year. Let's make this a greater decade than the last decade, okay? All right, see you guys next time. Oh, don't forget to like, because that helps. Share and subscribe to my videos if you haven't already, right? All right, appreciate it, guys. Thank you.